Is it being recorded right now? Let's see, in the booth there. Nathan, just check, make sure it's being recorded, okay? We'll run over if it isn't. We have been doing this show. Nathan, please go back there and make sure it's recorded, okay? Ask Ron to make sure it's recorded, okay? We have been doing this show for almost 18 years. And could you please go in the booth and make sure, ask Ron it's been recorded? Okay. Okay, it is being recorded now, I believe. All right. We want to replay this. We want to make sure it's being recorded right now, and I think it is being recorded on the DVD there. We've been doing a show for 18 years, and about 1998, I learned of the Shakespeare Theater, and a man called George Wade. He was, at that time, actually one of the beginners, the original people, and it's being recorded right now?
Yes.
We are in good shape. He was actually about late 80s, I believe. Maybe you might know exactly when Shakespeare started. He started Shakespeare Theater in parks, where they were actually going to different kinds of parks and things like that. And then quickly, he actually got a good lineup with the Century. It was at that time called, not Century College, I think it was called Lakeview College or something like that. And then it became Century College. And what occurred is that he actually really got a good connection with Lakeview, now Century College. And they actually have been, many years, been doing plays, outdoor summer plays, sort of the southwest part of Century College. It's outdoor. You go back there, you can see the entrance where people are getting the tickets. And they actually built a stage. They have a wood stage. And it's been described to me, and I think I'm right on this, that the Shakespeare Theater is really emulating, or just like the Globe Theater that used to occur in London, where Shakespeare did most of his plays. It's outdoor. You can come in there, you can bring your lawn chair, you can eat while the theater's going on. I've come to some of those plays, and you know what the fun thing is? The actors and actresses sometimes, they're right back there, even with you, waiting to go on stage, for their part. So it's really an introspective kind of a thing, a really fun kind of a thing. Shakespeare, Shakesphere, Theater. When George Ressler comes in, I think he's going to join us. He's going to give Ron the exact website to hook onto right there so you can get more information about it. And they normally have 3 different plays a year. Do they have 3 different plays this year, too?
Yep, I can tell you all the
Here
information.
we go.
It's called Shakespeare Company, and
Yes,
it's actually our 39th season this summer that we're
40
celebrating.
years they've been doing this. How long have they
39.
been at Lake?
At Century, I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
of the number of that, but
Okay.
I would assume it's...
Yeah, at least 20 years, 20, 30 years. Yeah.
So, and then the 3 shows this summer are Julius Caesar, As You Like It, and the Bourgeois Gentleman. So,
Which ones are Shakespeare and which one is the Molière play?
Molière.
Molière.
Julius Caesar and As You Like It are the the Shakespearean shows, and then Molière wrote the Bourgeois Gentleman.
Very interesting. So now, are all of you involved with the Julius Caesar, or are you involved with other plays too?
Okay.
All 3 of us are involved in Caesar, and then actually all 3 of us are involved in the Bourgeois Gentleman as well.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Julius Caesar. Hopefully, will George Ressler be here, you think? Or?
He will not be.
Oh,
He sent us as his...
Are any of you
Liaisons.
Right, his
Are
messengers.
all of you actors here? Or?
No, I'm not. I'm one of the directors.
You're the director, and you're directing Julius Caesar?
No, I'm directing the Molière piece, The Bourgeois Gentleman.
Bourgeois Gentleman. Okay.
So, and I can give more
why don't you tell us about that,
Well, I
since
was going
you're
to give you information, number 1, about how to get tickets, and then also
Okay.
the website.
Sure.
So if you're interested, the adult prices for tickets are $15. Seniors are $13. Children and under are free with an adult. And then number to call would be 651-779-5818. And the company website is www.shakespeareandcompany, all spelled out, .org.
And so let's put that on. It's spelled out. If Ron is over there, you can plug in Shakespeare Shakekes Shakekes P-A-R-E is Shakespeare.
P-E-A-R-E.
P-A-R-E is Shakespeare and Company.
andcompany.org.
Right. And then andcompany.org. So we'll get that on the screen for you to help you out.
Thank
right
you.
there. And we can't tell you how much the prices of the tickets are,
Sorry about
but
that.
we just can tell you they're reasonable, okay?
They are.
I mean, they're not going to make you broke. We can go that far. It's some regulations, so they're reasonable tickets. And am I right? You can bring your food there and munch on while you're doing that?
Absolutely. Bring a whole picnic. We've had people come out and bring whole picnics and dress up even. It's been quite a
Dress
delight
up
to
in
see.
Shakespeare clothes?
There was one couple that came to our show one time. They were dressed in like late 19th century Southern period outfits.
Oh, okay, sure.
And they had the whole picnic spread with the period basket and blanket and everything.
wow.
Parasol. and-
Cool.
When I was setting up my costuming and props for one of the shows,
Okay, and you have your mic. You have your mic on here, right?
it's
Yep,
all
okay, we're good.
Yeah,
I gotta make sure here.
of course.
We're a little short of help, so sometimes on the stage I make sure everything's going well. Okay, but bear with us. But
I'll just
we always
project
have-
over into Jameson's mic.
There you go. No. We're all in good shape with mics, and her mic is on. We're all experiencing that here. We're in good shape. So explain what's happening.
I was the day that couple came. I was setting up my props and costuming for the show, and out of the corner of my eye, I see these very elaborately well-dressed people, and I didn't recognize them at first. And I'm like, did we get new costumes for this show?
Yeah.
Then I took a closer look and, who are they and what's going on here?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure they had a good time there.
Oh,
Yeah,
they had a
totally.
fantastic time, and it's kind of an interesting story how they came into contact with the company.
Right.
But I'm not sure if that would be good discussion here.
Well, let's have a little
Fun.
sidelight story here, then we'll get into plays. Have a little fun here. So, what happened?
Long story short, one of our actors had a bit of a small traffic incident with this couple, and
Friendship bloomed.
friendship somehow bloomed from a traffic accident, and then they came to our show in costume.
I'll be darned. Isn't that
Yeah.
something? Weird things can happen, but Shakespeare's always done those strange things. We used to have it when Stu Neighbor, of course, you know him quite well. He used to tell us incredible stories. Used to happen backstage and all the fun things and sort of tricks used to play on each other, the actors and actresses, and so they're a lively group. They're a fun group. That's fun. That's fun to do. I think you do better acting too when you're light and not serious about things. You're concentrating on things more.
Very true. I
Yeah.
mean, live theater's always just been kind of one of those things where anything can happen, and whatever happens, you kind of have to go with, because that's the take that you get that night. So it's been quite a fun. This is my first year doing it too, and it's been quite fun.
I see. Okay, sure.
So far throughout the summer, just performing with such great talent and amazing directing, and it's been wonderful.
So now, what play are you in?
I am in all three. I'm in Julius Caesar, The Bourgeois Gentleman, and As You Like It.
Oh,
And,
okay, cool. Where was that little thing there? I'll tell you what, Newton, bring this back to Ron, okay? And he can plug in. Could you bring this back to Ron, please? Could you bring that back to Ron? He can plug in the website. Bring that
there's
right
the
there, right
poster?
there. Okay, why don't you tell us about, since she's involved in this,
Thank you.
Bourgeois Gentleman. That's
Molière,
Molière,
yes.
yes.
And it's a stunning show. It's very lively. It's very colorful. It's very much over the top, and it's partially taken seriously, and it's a delight because
it's comedy, I take it, right?
it's very much comedy. It's
Yeah.
it's farcical, and it's in a way, but we've all kind of taken to it, and it was a huge collective for this, because in some aspects it was probably I personally see it as one of the biggest of the three shows, with how much we do and how much was involved, and we've had we've just had a series of wonderful things happen, in some instances where some people have gotten injured, but it's all come together to make such a great show.
Now you got me going. Is there like fighting occurring or anything?
Oh,
or like-
there's fights, there's tea parties, there's
really?
so many
Chase
wonderful
scenes
things.
through the
Chase
audience.
scenes, you know.
It's like a
It's
bar
going.
fight kind of thing? Or what?
Not quite a bar
A very
fight.
slow motion one.
Okay, naturally. Well, look, we had a sword fight on our stage here about 2-3 years back with Stu and another person. I think it was King Richard is where it was.
Oh, okay.
So we've had our share of interesting things occur too. So how's it? Well, set us up. Who are the good guys and bad guys, or just people? Or
Anne could probably.
sure.
Oh, sure. Well, The Bourgeois Gentleman is about one man who is kind of a middle-class man who wants to be something more important. So he's going through his midlife crisis.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's so he goes through a series of trying to be better than what he is, and he hires people to tell him he's great and to stroke his ego, and they do, and it just kind of gets more and more ridiculous.
Bourgeois, is he French? Is this French? Sounds like French.
Molière is originally French. Yes, it was written in French.
He's a French actor. That's fine.
Playwright.
Thank you, Nathan. That's good. Thank you.
An actor, I suppose.
Okay. It's mainly that one person the whole play is focused on.
It circles around him. Yeah, and then there's a side story about his daughter and a love interest, and so there's a subplot.
Is he a singer or an actor or something like that?
Who? Sorry.
The person, the main person, the bourgeois gentleman. What's his profession?
He is actually a shopkeeper with his wife, who is played by Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah, and but because he's so interested in becoming this noble man,
he wants
Rachel,
to raise his status in society.
Right. Rachel runs the shop, so and does all the work without any appreciation or thanks.
So maybe I'm getting part of the way he gets raised his status in society. He's doing a little fighting and
well, he learns. He tries to learn to fight, and he tries. He actually he tries to learn to dance, which he asks the dance master, which I play, to come in, and he tries to learn music, which our music master is here as well, Eric, and we kind of. The masters kind of get into an argument over what art or what profession is truly at the pinnacle of all the other professions, and hilarity ensues with that. But we all take it very seriously. I teach dance, so it was kind of well casted with that, and it was I got to choreograph a little bit, and it was a lot of fun, and it was something. Each of us take seriously, like his music, and Jay being the fight choreographer, being the fencing master that comes in. It was well played out between all of us to kind of see like all our strengths and then kind of bring it all together to make it work.
Wow, sort of. Well, Shakespeare's always complicated. He's always very intricate. Intricate kind of play anyway. Any monologues in that play? I take it.
Bourgeois, not really any monologues to speak of.
I would think there would maybe be say, well, I'm learning this or something like this. Or
well, with the Molière, it's a lot of it's rapid. His stuff is
pretty fast paced.
Yeah, it's fast paced and it's very intense, but it's meant to be taken lighthearted, and you can kind of see, like she said, where he wants to be noble. You see him wanting to be noble, but you can see everyone around him kind of taking advantage of that. So it's all right in front of you. So
he doesn't do too well in that area. Huh?
Yeah,
not really. He's sort of a klutz, in other words, right?
Yes, he's
sort of like a klutz.
He's not perceptive of how he's being taken advantage.
He think along the lines of Mr. Magoo and.
That is funny. Mr. Wu trying to be a nobleman.
Exactly.
Yes, that would be fun. Yeah, that is hilarious. Yeah. You have a good relationship with your husband? Get along with him and everything, or is this?
Well, in the play we butt heads quite a bit, but Jeff and I off stage get along great, and it's fun to work with him. So
in the play, you don't like your husband taking off and trying to become a nobleman, or is that?
I don't like his behavior. I know that he's being taken advantage of, and I try and put things into perspective and tell him constantly he's being taken advantage of, show him that he's being taken advantage of, and he just doesn't want to listen.
He just... Is there a good ending to this, or is the poor guy still getting ripped off by society?
You'll have to come and see the show to find out.
But I guess there's a lot of comic scenes of his situation then, right?
Yeah.
Everything is at his expense.
Yes.
Everything.
And of course, to also Jeff's credit, also being the lead of the show, also directed Julius Caesar. So.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Yep.
Jeff
yes, he did.
Oh.
Yes, Jeff actually had to step in to replace another actor who unfortunately couldn't fulfill the role because of medical issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jeff stepped in about three or so weeks ago to.
Yeah, 3 and a half.
Yeah, and he He just started rehearsing his lines hardcore, boom, 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 one right after another. It was huge crunch time for him, but he really pulled it off.
And it was and on top of him directing as well. So I mean, it was big hats off to him for him stepping up for the company and for the other actors.
As you? No.
No. That was my hat off to Jeff.
He took his hat off. I thought maybe he's taking a hat off for himself right there.
No. I'm not nearly that arrogant.
Ron, try to turn the iris down on that camera there, on that middle camera we have. Try to turn the iris down on that, Ron. Adjust it a little bit brighter, but not too bright on cameras. Just try to get the irises right on that. So this isn't, turn the iris down on that a little bit. Iris down on that. On the screen there. So basically, this is something I really am always impressed about, and that is that the people in Shakespeare, I mean, they're always good actors. I mean, really. I mean, we've had people, when I've had people on the show, people come here from Bloomington, they've come here from West Minneapolis. It's a well-known theater, Like you said, Jeff, the guy's multi-talented, obviously. He can be a director and an actor. So have you acted in other areas?
I've done a lot. I actually, my first experience was actually with George Ressler, and I went to Inver Hills Community College, and that was he was one of my first college directors, and actually my buddy Dave, who's also on the show, those two have been really inspiring to me, and I came out knowing George has directed this and has had a really well-developed following through Shakespeare Company, and I really missed working with him, and it was something that he pushed me to go to Mankato and actually get my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Mankato. Wow. So this was kind of me saying also just a thank you to him. And
try to turn the iris down on that, Ron, on the upper right, iris. Looking to your right there, it says iris. There you go. Yeah, right in there in that camera. Try to turn it down a little bit here, get a better color here. We will get adjusted. There, a little more. It's on the camera. It's camera number 2, iris down. There we go. Now we'll get a little brighter. I always like some good color. Turn it a little bit brighter here. See, we do things. We do a little bit brighter on there. To the right, brighter. I'll get a little more brighter here.
With Jameson's
Anyway.
story,
but
working with George again.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so I just wanted to say that in As You Like It, Jameson is playing the leading role of the leading male role of Orlando. So it's kind of a cool full circle.
Okay.
it was wonderful to come back and get to and being honored to get to do that for him. So it was I had done a lot of musical theater beforehand, but I hadn't really worked too much in about 3 or 4 years. So
Stu Neighbor was also on camera number 2, a little bit down on iris. Stu Neighbor was also in Inver Grove Heights.
okay.
Yeah, that was his thing too. Great, wonderful color right there. So I guess Inver Grove Heights really is a strong theater department.
George has always been one of those people to, when he's found someone he can really pull something out of and give more to him. He takes them under his wing and he really nurtures them, and he really nurtures the passion.
Yeah.
And he never gives up on those people. And I think that's what's made him and this company and everybody that follows it so strong.
Yeah.
And so connected.
Yeah.
I've never really seen a company so connected like this before, and it's amazing to me.
Again, I pick up from all the shows. They have fun. They really work well with each other. We've done probably 15 shows of Shakespeare, I would say, since '98. So this is probably our 16th show.
Wow.
And every show, of course, we have great plays and everything else. So, are you and Julius Caesar?
Yes.
I got it right. So, you're one of the main leads, right?
No. I'm playing Lucius. He's a servant to Brutus. One of the conspirators, and Brutus is arguably the lead role, I would say, for the show, in spite of the title. But my part isn't large in writing per se, but my character he's there a lot. He's there at the assassination of Caesar. Okay. Spoiler alert, by the way, and he's there tending to Brutus' wishes, and his presence there, as well as how he reacts to his master and everything that's happening,
Adds a lot. Yeah.
Well, to me, it feels like I'm kind of, sort of, a vessel for the audience in a way. That's how I feel.
Try to tell them what's really going on, in other words, right?
To basically be the more neutral observer, sort of
Give
sort
them
of
real
character.
facts of what's sort of happening. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And in spite of having in writing smaller role, it encourages me to do as much with it as humanly possible.
Yeah.
My body language, my reactions, making sure that my lines are delivered with good emotion. It's been said many, many times. There's no small parts. There's only small actors who don't take what's given to them seriously.
Right. And so fill us in now. It was March 15th when Julius Caesar was killed, right? And what year was this? Sometimes BC, like 60 BC or something like
Any history people in here? Anybody?
that? Ron and I were talking about
yes.
this. You know, I said there are two reasons why he was killed. Because he wanted to invade Asia Minor, Iran, somewhere in that nature. And then another thing going around was that he had some policy where he and some members of his immediate bureaucracy there could have sex with anybody they wanted to. And they're having sex with some of the senator's wives, which they weren't thrilled about either.
Yeah, it was.
I think it came more with the idea of the kingship. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what Shakespeare brought into play when he took up the writing of the story, is that because it was an empire without a king, the fact that the senators wanted to make Caesar a king was to relinquish all of this, I don't know if the word democratic or republic, the republic that they created, that the people would lose the power.
But he was about to make a speech when he was killed. He was going to an assembly to make a speech, right? And then
he was brought to this assembly by the conspirators to discuss the banishment of one of the within the writing of Shakespeare. It was to discuss the banishment of one of the conspirators' brothers.
Oh, okay.
And they used that as technically
to
to their excuse to get him centralized.
So they can stab him to death.
Yeah, well, yeah, essentially. But it was, all the motives that were there for the conspirators, some of them selfish, some of them not.
Yeah.
And Brutus being the one to kind of deliver, his blow it's very emotional for him. So we all kind of take, in essence, what we feel is our motive to do this to him, whether it be one of the conspirators, his brother being banished.
And just to say, sorry to interrupt you, but the cool thing about the production that Jeff Altier directed is that it was gender-blind casting. And so for the first time in Shakespeare Company history, I believe, Kathy Kolstad is playing the role of Julius Caesar.
Yeah. Ah.
And so it's
So
a
a
really
woman is
cool,
playing the role of Julius Caesar?
right.
Handful of
And
key roles are women, actually.
It is.
right, Mark Antony is also played by a woman,
Yep.
and you are playing
Yep.
one of the other, and Cassius. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
So basically, this was a now is that mainly what the play's about, or
A lot of it in what you would see in Julius Caesar is you would think, obviously, because of, Eric saying it, that you would think it'd be about Julius Caesar. A lot of it's really about Brutus. It's about the turmoil of an individual and what it means to that individual and him justifying his actions.
to kill.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's
A lot of this was a power thing. They didn't like Caesar's power. They thought he had too much
it was
power.
ambition. It was,
Yeah.
and it's a key word in there. It was Caesar's ambition.
Of the conspirators.
That was their claim was, he was too ambitious.
Yeah,
He was,
he's
and he even in the writing, Caesar he put the crown down several times when he was
really?
offered.
That is.
And you would think that,
I wouldn't think that at all. That'd be, to
that's
me,
not an
like
ambitious man.
Caesar, I guess he took over Europe. Partially Europe, he was very popular. And then, that is interesting.
He was he was very much
these are interesting characters, a whole bunch of them. Isn't it?
action spoke for Caesar more than his words did.
Yeah. Now, so it's a heavy dramatic play. Is there any light parts to the play? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now we get more interesting about Julie. So what's the light parts?
Yeah, she's.
you would do.
We do have some lighthearted moments. There's,
Relatively speaking.
relatively speaking, we have the character that I play is kind of a immature but very confident person, and there's a confrontation that takes place, and I try and fluff my feathers and show off that I have the power. And
Was it a little fighting or what? Or
it's a definite face-to-face confrontation.
argument, right?
Yep.
Heavy argument between you and another woman, or
It's
You're
between
playing-
me and Brutus. So I
Oh.
play Octavius Caesar.
Yeah, you're playing a man, Octavius.
Yep. Although I do play it as a female, but I play Octavius Caesar, and Brutus and I have a confrontation.
Well, Octavian took over for Caesar, didn't he?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you had him and Mark Antony kind of thing, and there goes Cleopatra.
Yep. Exactly.
So all this is interwoven in, a few 40, 50 years before Christ, which of this Roman Empire, interesting things going on there, So, did you win?
I always win.
We got to hear about this, but the other one. See the other side here.
If you're looking for lightheartedness, I would definitely recommend The Bourgeois Gentleman or As You Like It,
As
which
You
is
Like It.
the
Oh, they should talk about As You Like
we,
It.
we have to talk about As You Like It.
talks about, yeah.
This comedy now?
It is, and
Okay,
it's
cool.
one of Shakespeare's most loved, I would say. It's got
Yes.
a lot of great roles, lots of love pairings, bizarre and otherwise, and the main character, Rosalind, played by Nicole Joy Fretham, she and her cousin go into hiding in the woods to escape, punishment from her uncle. And so Rosalind's character dresses up as a boy and meets Jameson's character, Orlando. And,
You're in that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
this is a
there's
big-
just a lot of lovemaking and love pursuing.
It's sort of like the Midsummer Night's Dream, or
It
a little
is,
more.
a lot,
Yeah.
yeah, with the
Well,
forest.
that's fun. I
So,
like that play.
yeah.
I like.
Rachel is one of the lovers as well.
Oh, you're in that. Wow, you're in.
I'm in all three.
Yeah.
All three plays. Wow, these are big actors and actresses we have around here. Yeah. Well, so what? I mean, is there like a main scene in As You Like It? Is there some big thing that's occurring with the people, or is it just a love triangle and see who gets who?
There's a triangle.
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah,
couple,
right. There's chasing. I don't know. A main scene. I guess like one of the iconic moments. I don't know if it's necessarily quotable, but with Rosalind pretending to be a boy, she has Orlando come to her and pretend to woo her. And then she pretends to be a woman. So it's very like there's all these different Shakespearean layers in there. And
Was she do this to make somebody jealous, or was it?
no, she wants to find out if he's true, like if
Oh, I
his
see.
admiration and his affection
Yeah.
is real. So.
Very deep thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, we got about 2 minutes to go. Again, that website is on the screen there. When's the first weekend for the place?
We've already opened.
Oh, already
opened
open.
all three
Okay.
shows.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We have, and we will go until August 3rd. So it's
Okay.
Friday and Saturdays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 6.
Okay. And do they alternate, or is there one day Friday that they alternate the
They'll
different
be
days?
in rep now. So one show will happen each night. So all three shows will perform every weekend for the next 3 weeks.
And like, do they have one show on Friday? And which show's on Friday then?
It depends on the weekend.
Oh, I see. It does all.
It rotates.
This coming weekend, I believe, is
Julius Caesar.
Caesar on Friday,
Okay.
The Bourgeois Gentleman on Saturday.
and As You Like It on Sunday.
Like it. The website's right on there. Check out the website. Gives you all the information about it. And do you remember the number to call? Throw that out.
651-747-38.
No, that's our number.
Oh, that's
No.
your number. Here I
It's
was.
this number to call. We want to get this out here.
Call in live.
651-779-5818.
Okay, and that will tell you all the information, where it is, all the fun things you can do, and it basically starts what 7 to dark, basically, right? Close to dark.
All of the shows are about an hour and a half and under.
You'll be out before sundown, and
Yep.
then you can hop over to the pub or wherever you like.
Yeah.
Quickly, what do you like? What do you like about the plays you're in?
About the plays, honestly, it's been the cast and the directors.
Yeah.
It's always fun to work with new
you?
cast and directors.
Cast directors, and it's a fun challenge, no matter what role's given.
Shakespeare's very, very great writing. And you?
The cast, the crew, everybody involved, and just being able to bring these words to life.
Of Shakespeare.
Of Shakespeare and Moliere.
He's very. Both of them are heavy. And you? Well, keep going. Let's keep running it.
I love the company.
Okay.
I love the company, and I love all the new people that join every year. It's awesome.
We're going to keep going for about another half a minute here, just to make sure we have enough time.
Sure.
So keep recording it, please. So anyway, you know, I really enjoy you people watching, and I know people watch. We're going to replay this over the air, and so call the staff if you want to do it, the SCC staff. I want to thank every one of you for being here. They have these wonderful costumes for us. Isn't that nice? They dress up like Shakespeare and talk about Shakespeare and all the wonderful things Shakespeare does.
This is a little out of the Shakespeare style.
I know that. You are.
Yep.
You're in the play, and so are you. You
I'm
know?
directing.
And she's a director.
That's what he wears in Moliere.
That is
so
what he
that
wears,
is.
yeah.
I could tell right away.